For GateWorld.net, I'm David Reed, and I am here with Mr. Dan Payne, right there.
Oh, hi.
Hi, how you doing, sir?
Good, thank you. How are you?
You have done, I'm very good. You have done so much work on Stargate SG-1 and Atlantis that we could sit here hours talking about it, but I'm not going to bore you with that. What was the first character that you played on the show?
Dan Shea pulled me out of Snow Queen and made me a stunt Jaffa. That was the very first role. It went unnoticed because it was a stunt thing.
Right.
And I just ran, got shot, did the flip LaRue and fell down. And then I met some directors through that, and the relationship grew, and I moved on through the rest of them.
What season was it that you first started?
Wow. 5?
Okay.
I would guess.
Okay. Maybe one is...
Because I know I've been through 6, 7, and 8. I think that the stunt might have been in 5.
Okay.
Fans know better than me.
You've played numerous characters on this show, from Atlantis SFs to Jaffa soldiers to Kull warriors to Wraith. Back again, you said the Uber Wraith from Satita. Which have you enjoyed the most, and which the least?
The most just recently was the Uber or big Wraith on Atlantis with the Satita episode.
Just to clarify, this is the one that was in command of the hive ship that went down and
yes,
off the floor with Roman.
Yes.
Okay.
Until this brutal dismissal by missile.
Yes, exactly.
A tagline right there. Where do they come? So that was fantastic. Just the makeup, the transformation, to be able to see my face and have had that prosthetic done so well that anything I did transferred to the prosthetic, and I just felt like I looked in the mirror and I had a complete out-of-body experience in a way, because it was so different from who I
That's what they say.
Know who I am, and to be able to jump so deeply into a character because they can see your face and you can still move, which is the little bit of an advantage to the super soldier. And right. For least, there is no least.
Really?
If I'm on set, I'm having a good time.
Good. For the Wraith, this Uber Wraith that you told the convention, but we'd like you to tell it here. How early was your call time?
About 4:30 in the morning.
4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And how long are you in the makeup chair?
About 4 hours. 4 hours from start to finish.
So 8:30 set call.
Yeah, and you're pushing too, because the Todd Masters who does the prosthetics, same as the rest of the Stargate crew, doesn't want to just be okay with something. Very meticulous, very perfectionist almost. So they're pushing, they're asking, we need him, and he's still doing some veins and stuff. That's what makes it, as an actor, that's what makes you transform, is because they put so much detail. When you look at something completely different, you don't see seams, you don't see makeup. It's awesome.
That was a pretty scary character, the Uber Wraith. I mean, some of them are a little bit hokey, depending on the actor behind it. But I watched that and I was like, I would not want to be in the same room with this creature.
That's what was so fun. I mean, until I got into character, when I was just looking at the makeup in the midst of the sort of being able to transform, I was like, awesome. This guy is with the Fu Manchu nastiness and the tattoos and the teeth. Yeah, it was great. It was great. So when it came time to get into character, they did half the work for me, at least. Did
you know that you were going to be playing this character from script stage, or was it sometime later in the game and said, oh, we'll have Dan do this?
They came and asked me. There's a great relationship with Stargate directors and the producers. They're fantastic. They're so kind to me. They called up and said, Dan, we've got this Wraith. We want you to do it. Can you come in and do some testing? Makeup test, camera test. So I was excited from the get-go.
You said that you don't really like to call yourself a stuntman.
No.
What would you call yourself?
An actor who is very, very fortunate by size or by character description to get the opportunity to do his own stunts. So an actor who gets to do stunts. And I just want to clarify that I don't call myself a stuntman strictly because I don't want to deny the stuntmen who do what they do and study and train so hard to do it. I haven't done that, so I haven't qualified myself to be a stuntman. I don't want to detract from what they do because it's fantastic. I have seen Bam Bam and guys like Glenn Innes, Dan Shea, Ken Kersinger do insane things that you couldn't take an actor like myself and just ask them to do it. I've been very fortunate as an actor who gets to do some stunts.
How would you describe your working relationship with them?
With the stunt guys? Once they realize that I have a great respect for them, it's reciprocated fully. I mean, some actors some actors don't understand how hard stunts are. They think that they're the guys who are just crazy enough to do stuff. Well, there's a process of learning that can't be denied. So, and I fully respect it. And Bam Bam and Dan Shay, I think, because those guys study, they should have first rights. So there might be a little bit of tentativeness to say, oh yeah, hesitation to let Dan jump in there. But I think because of the rapport that we have and the time that we had to spend, that they're like, okay, if he's willing to respect what I do and train hard enough to do it well enough, that it's not going to be like me as the stunt coordinator is losing out by putting this guy in there. So it's just a mutual respect relationship. Was it Dan Shay who originally got you roped into Stargate? Yeah. Okay. And you just haven't looked back since? No, every opportunity back in that stage was, I love it, I can't wait. And I didn't know what was coming, but I think my enthusiasm and the relationships that just got built quickly helped catapult it to where it is. Good. Have you sustained any serious injuries on the show? Just the bumps and bruises. Just some bumps and bruises and the odd scrape. But no, nothing that needed, healing. I didn't blow an ankle out because they look after me so incredibly well. The actor, especially because I'm not a stunt guy, the actor is extremely looked after beyond anything you'd understand, I think, as a normal person. You see these crazy things go on, you think, how can they do that? Well, I do it under the utmost safe conditions with the utmost care and due attention from all the people around. Stunt guys do stuff that are stunt related, and they do get hurt because there's no other physical human way to do it. And the world, we demand that now. Bigger, better. You've had the privilege of working on both SG-1 and Atlantis. From your standpoint as an actor, how are the shows different? Stargate SG-1 has had more time becoming a family and getting a comfort and familiarity with the process and with one another and how each other works, their quirks, their just how to read each other. So there's a comfort and a familiarity and a confidence that's immediate when you walk into SG-1. And because I got to be at the beginning of Atlantis as well, I watched that confidence and that family unit grow. And it was a precedent set by SG-1, that family unit. And Atlantis had took it and ran with it. So, I mean, the difference is it's just like watching a kid grow up, I guess, The maturity that's born out of having the years SG-1 has and watching the growth to get to that level of maturity that Atlantis is going through. So do you see Atlantis as becoming another SG-1? I hope so. I can't see why not. The formula's there with enough twists and turns and different characters that, as a viewer as well as an actor on the show, it's got all the elements. What is your fondest memory of working with this franchise? Laughing. Really? Laughing. Something tells me that happens a lot. I love to laugh and I love to make people laugh. And Dan Shay and oh gosh, yes. Bam Bam and yes. Gary Jones and Peter DeLuise and Martin Wood and almost every director has it. Robert Cooper on Satita. Oh. He was hilarious. Like normally he's a little bit more. Yeah. Step back and get it. He was right in there and he was hilarious. It was fantastic. The environment of laughter. That's my favorite thing. So it's almost like a necessity that you would have to wear diapers when you got into these outfits. Yeah, I'd pee myself laughing. Absolutely. It was unreal. Unreal. The Kull Warriors. You have always been the master Kull Warrior. They brought in, I think, Alex Zahara for a Kull Warrior at some point? I think they couldn't get me for a day. Alex might be able to know better, but they needed a bunch of Kull Warriors to be CGI'd against a green screen to run from a cave run from a ship to a cave entrance. And they just needed thousands of them. Evolution 2, yes. And they wanted to have a different look to them. And so Alex did the CGI running for some of the super soldiers. And then I came the next day and did a whole bunch more. So yeah, Alex jumped in the suit to do some running. I don't know if he's been on camera up front performance-wise, but he's definitely donned the black mask. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then there's also in times when they needed two super soldiers to be like on the back of Anubis. You never have one guard. they'd get another gentleman who, they call it SAE, Special Skills Extra, Special Abilities Extra. And it's not necessarily an actor role because they're just meant to stand. It's like, we joke in the industry that they're mobile furniture, which is not. Which is not the case. It's just that they don't get to showcase their talents as much as they'd like to. It's more of a fill this costume out and be positioned around. So I've had a lot of co-pilots in the suit, which is fun.
You're a very tall guy. If they bring in a Kull warrior that's kind of stockier, do they have to put a box under him? I mean, if you're like having a couple of Kull warriors behind Anubis, you don't want to have one up here and one down here.
Yeah, no, the height is fine to match. It's actually the difficulty comes from the fact that they built the costume to my body.
Oh, so anyone else who wears it? My
physique is what fills out that costume,
okay.
Barring mad pizza rushes and burgers, but I'm going to fill it out in the wrong spot. But yeah, it's getting somebody who has the same physique. Because sometimes a guy will have a smaller chest or a bigger chest and smaller arms or whatever, and you have the two of us standing there, and this is a skin-tight suit. You're going to notice, oh, hey, wait a minute.
Like ruffles or something.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's hard. So they've had a few guys come through and try and match up the size, and they just, keep shooting.
This character is probably the one you're most famously known for, I would hazard a guess. You're completely masked. How do you articulate your performance?
Yeah, there's a challenge there.
Now, obviously, he doesn't speak. He doesn't have any dialogue.
Well, I had the one time they unmasked, and I serve Anubis. Do you remember that? And the green.
Was that you?
Yeah.
Okay.
The transparent face and the.
Yes.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay.
Back behind that.
But other than that, you just mostly have to operate on movement. What is your motivation? Yeah.
Well, I had a lot of help from Peter and Martin and Gary and producers came down, John Lennox, all the guys who had stake in it came down and said, we want to create something that's got human elements, robotic elements, is a killer, so he has a hunter's instinct, but it's not personal. So we have to find a way, and we worked on a walk, we worked on a run, we worked on a demeanor that comes out of if you're getting pelted with bullets, try and find that way to be nonchalant versus robotic, as in, oh, yeah, you killer? Fine, you're done.
Yeah.
Versus like the robotic.
RoboCop.
Yeah, because they didn't want a RoboCop, because this is a drone that's a mutated living soul, not a robot.
When you went into this, did they say, okay, we want you to stay away from the Borg, stay away from the humanoid replicators?
We actually didn't even mention anything else. We wanted to birth it from its own place.
Okay.
So it's kind of cool because I don't think they wanted to ingrain any ideas in my head when they're like, let's work on some runs. Just run in different ways that you think this costume fits well, what feels comfortable, and we'll just, arms out or in or high stepping or low and basically we just did test runs and they're like, that looks good. Not that looks like Borg, that looks like RoboCop. Nothing, no names were mentioned.
The Kull suit you said was based on you, and you once told me a couple of years ago that it is the most comfortable thing you've ever worn.
In terms of, from what it looks like to what it actually wears like, yeah, it is the most comfortable thing. Because the polar bear suit I wore was uncomfortable, but as comfortable as it could be made. This looks uncomfortable, but isn't. It just isn't. The costume designers took a body mold, a full body cast, which is an interesting experience in its own, and built the costume to me. One of the things my agent talks about is being not conveying an image that isn't true. So your headshots have to match what your hair looks like, what your face. If you age, you should get new headshots. Well, if my body changed too much, I should as well. And I've been really avidly pursuing maintaining my physicality to be exactly what it is. So when my agent presents Dan Payne, this is his physicality, that I don't walk in after the pizza burger runs with my gut hanging out. They need to know that, well, we want this character maybe taking his shirt off in this scene, and we don't want jelly belly, we want the six pack. Oh, okay, well, I'll make sure that it's always there. So I was pretty fortunate. The bodysuit fits straight away.
Okay. Are you glad that the Kull are done? Is there any part of you that says, oh my God, I'm thankful that they can't bring them back? Well, they all died when Anubis died.
Atlantis?
Atlantis?
There's a I don't know if I can say anything.
Talking Kull warriors here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is perhaps not done?
Well, I'll just tell you, I donned the suit very briefly again, and it wasn't for SG1.
Okay. Okay, fair
A
enough.
little teaser, just for people who might be keeping an eye out. I don't think it's aired yet because we filmed it very recently.
Well, they're very cool to look at, so...
Yeah, so it came out again.
You actually brought it to GateCon 03.
Yeah, there was a huge request by fans, which was really fun for me, and being that I think it was my first convention. I'm pretty sure it was my first convention.
No one saw your face.
And I kept my face hidden. But there's such a huge response, and I'm awestruck by fans and how unbelievably cool they are and kind. So if that's what they wanted, I didn't want to deny them that, whether it was comfortable or not. It didn't matter. I wanted to be there in that way, so it was pretty cool.
Very cool.
But the Super Soldier does make a little glimpse appearance again.
What do you think?
Oh, and sorry, I didn't even answer your question.
Oh.
I would love to come back because it would mean I could. Well, I'd love to come back with a character with my face out, so I can act a little bit more from the truth of me. But anything to be playing with that family. If it's the Kull Warrior and they want me back, I'm there. It's good times, guaranteed. Like I said, laughs. It's a great set to be on.
You've done Kull Warriors. The Wraith are so different because obviously they're different. They're not robots and they're not subhuman Goa'uld. What do you find appealing about the Wraith to play? Because
the big Wraith. I mean, the Wraith warriors were supposed to be the lizard-like. Like if you had an ant, there's the queen and then all the worker ants. It's like the worker ants. Yes, the barnacle boys.
Yes.
Their barnacle face, or as Martin Wood would call me, bonehead. Bonehead. Yeah, I'm coming, Martin. Those guys were, at first it was interesting again, just to try and, I called them the doormen. They were Wraith doormen. Make sure the right people are in the right place. And they're supposed to be lizard-like and quick. So that was neat to just, but I didn't get too much experience with that because it was just a pilot episode.
You did Rising?
I did Rising.
Okay.
And then they moved on to, they made them SAE, the Special Ability Extras.
Okay.
Because they wanted to get performance-based stuff that they could mimic and ask the SAEs to do, because they sort of took a background, they were kind of cannon fodder after a while. But the big Wraith, it's fantastic. It's there's no precedent set, for that Uber Wraith, big Wraith. So it was fine. It was just unbelievable. It was a clean slate.
So you weren't given any instruction going in. This is a Wraith commander who happens to be really big and really uber.
And here's his back history. He chased Ronin before.
Oh, he has?
Yep.
Okay. I don't think we knew that for sure.
Well, see, they built that in. They wanted to know that I had a vendetta.
That's why Ronin was so key on kicking his butt.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the one that went back and destroyed that village. So it was nice to have a history for that guy and a reason for pursuing Ronin. And so there's a motivation to go and get him. And it was a damn good time.
What do you hope your performances that you've already done and your performances in the future will bring to fans who view the show in every episode and love it for what it is? The ones in the past, I hope that I've maintained or at least satisfied a desire. I mean, I have a fantastic fan group that emails me and stays in touch, and I can't bless them. Thank you. And new fans are coming in each convention, so I'm hoping that what I've delivered so far is the reason why that they're coming in and that I maintain that. But in the future, the me that I get to bring to the conventions when I'm on stage and stuff, I knock on wood, pray that I get an opportunity to display that on the show for more fans as me, as a character. That's Dan Payne. Is that Dan Payne? Well, this is about the same height,
Exactly.
So someone will be able to see.
Something you'll be able to see with the personality that is me, that I get to show at conventions more than through an alien creature or a mask.
Yes. You knock them dead on stage. You love to joke around.
That's
we
fun.
don't see that.
No, and
that's a surprise.
Which is fun, because if people get to see that, for me it's fun, it's great. And like I said, my two favorite things are either laughing or making people laugh. And I'd love to, because there's a self-deprecating kind of tongue-in-cheek about both SG-1 and Atlantis that I really feel I could sink my teeth into. And if there is another season coming back, but we'll make it happen, that they do those mini-series that may happen, that I might get a shot at that. So we'll see.